All right, guys, today is the biggest day of forming your business. Assuming you have picked your business name and you verified that it's available with the Secretary of State, it's time to form your LLC. And I have secured an outstanding deal for you to make sure you don't have to pay too much. So let's dive into this entire process. We're going to get our LLC set up. It's going to take 5 minutes, and it's not going to cost hardly anything. Alright, so let's talk about why we want an LLC. A lot of people want to know, why can't I just do a sole proprietorship? And you totally can, but the reason you want an LLC is its own entity separate from you. That's the point of the LLC. It's a limited liability company, and what that means is that if your LLC gets sued, if your LLC goes bankrupt, you're not getting sued and you're not going bankrupt, your LLC is. There are also lots of other tax implications, because without an LLC, you're kind of paying taxes twice on everything, but with an LLC, you're not. There's a lot of different implications. I do suggest that you all have an accountant so that you can truly learn all the nitty-gritty details. I will be trying to get an accountant on the channel to both teach me and you all the things that I don't know and all the things that you don't yet know. But the reason you want an LLC mostly is to limit your liability. That way the company can take some risks and try to grow, and if anything comes back on the company, if you followed the law and you kept all of your personal finances separate from the LLC's finances, for the most part, that's going to protect you from any harm that may come to your LLC. Another thing the LLC is going to do for you is it's going to make you a legal entity as a business that can be treated as a business whose expenses can be tax deductible as a business without getting your business licenses yet. Once you get your business licenses, it will be expected that you start paying your taxes and filing your returns for those business licenses monthly, quarterly, or annually from the moment you get the license. When you get the LLC, this is not a business license, this is just forming an entity, and now this entity, when it goes and purchases tools, those are tax deductible. When it takes a prospective client out to lunch to talk about business, tax deductible. When you purchase and build your website, tax deductible. When you buy software like Jobber, tax deductible. So that's another one of the big points of forming an LLC. You'll also be able to get your business checking started. Without the LLC, you will need business licenses to get your business checking account, and you do need to have the checking account, again, to keep all of the business expenses separate from your own personal financial situation. So the LLC is going to enable you to go get that business checking account and start operating and spending as a business from square one. So I'm going to tell you the 3 ways you can start your own LLC. And then I'm going to take you through the one that I finally chose. I've spent literally over a month testing out platform after platform after platform, watching 50 or 60 different YouTubers explain what they see as the differences between each of these LLC formation platforms, testing tons of them out myself without going so far as to start an LLC, but going through the whole process and stopping just short of actually forming an LLC, comparing their prices, comparing what comes with their prices, comparing reviews online for their customer service. So I've done all of this for the last month. I've got it whittled down to what I think is the best choice, which is Northwest Registered Agent. And I'm going to take you through the list of what I think sets them apart and why I feel safe using them. I will be using them to create Bulletproof Handyman as an LLC, because I need to get that separated from my actual handyman business finances. So why I chose them for me to move forward with my LLC, why I think they're the best choice for you, and as I mentioned before, I did secure y'all an extremely good deal with them, but I'm going to take you through those reasons, and once we get through the reasons, then I'm going to take you to the computer and you're going to watch me go through the process of setting up the Bulletproof Handyman LLC so that that now becomes its own entity. So things worked out real nice. I need to start an LLC right at the time that I need to give y'all the best advice I can give you on starting yours. So let's get started. Number 1 is going to be DIY. I don't recommend DIY, guys. I really don't recommend DIY. I did DIY my handyman business LLC, And I didn't do a horrible job, but eventually I got an accountant and I had him look it over, and my accountant found 2 mistakes I made that were already affecting my business. So, number 1 is DIY. I don't suggest it unless you already know that you know what you're doing, but if that was the case, you probably wouldn't be watching this video. Number 2 is to use an accountant. If you're going to need an accountant eventually anyways, if you understand the value that an accountant provides, go ahead and get your accountant now. If you can afford to pay more, then go ahead and pay your accountant to form your LLC, because they'll be able to walk you through a lot of stuff that you're not going to know if you just go online and form your own. Although I'm going to try to do my best to clue you in on the things that you really need to know. And then finally is online platforms like Northwest Registered Agent. Online platforms that file your LLC for you. There are tons and tons of them out there, far too many. I've got them all whittled down, so let me tell you why I chose Northwest, and then you can watch me actually form my Bulletproof Handyman LLC on Northwest Registered Agent in real time. It's going to take 5 minutes and costs less than $150 altogether, and that includes the state filing fees. Northwest isn't charging the $150. Most of that is the state of Arizona. They have fees that you have to pay when you file for your LLC. So, why Northwest? Number 1 is because I was able to get a great deal with a link. That's actually a really big important thing, because most of you guys, when you're emailing me and text messaging me and commenting on the videos, you don't have a lot of money to get started to begin with, so this is going to be a very affordable way to go, but it still needs to be the best place to go. Number 2, privacy. They never sell your data. They just don't. Period. End of story. They have a rock-solid guarantee your data with them stays private. And also for privacy, when you start your LLC with them, you can list your LLC address as their address. They will list their address as your LLC's address, because this is publicly available information, so people could find your personal address by looking up your LLC. So you can use their address for both your business address and your mailing address, and then whatever mail they receive, they're going to scan and upload to your account, and you're going to get an alert, and you'll be able to get that mail digitally. Next, family owned and family managed since 1998. These people have been around a while. They're not a fly-by-night startup that just came about last year that's trying to nickel and dime you out of every penny you can get to make their investors happy. They're not trying to get you to sign contracts that automatically renew you in a year for 3 times the price so they can bump up their future stock price. They're not doing any of that. They're not a startup. They're a family-managed company that's been around a very long time who knows what they're doing. Very clear with their pricing. The nickel and diming is the biggest thing I'm finding on all of these sites, is they're going to give you 3 different packages, and it's like the cheap or the free package. That package isn't going to come with everything you need, and then they're going to nickel and dime you to add the stuff to that package that you need. And then the mid-tier package is going to be everything you need, but it's going to be expensive, and they're still going to find all these different fees and stuff to tack on to raise the price up, but you're not going to know until you get right to the very end. So Northwest Registered Agent has very clear and concise pricing. They don't have 18 different packages. They do have additional things you can pay for, but they're not the things that you need to have. All the things you need are included, and then the extra things that you can choose to add on, those are literally just extras that you don't need to add on in order to start your business. Next is going to be their customer support. They are widely viewed as the best customer support in the industry. I did test this out myself because they have kind of a promise that if you need help, you can call and they'll have a person who knows what they're doing ready to talk to you on the phone. And I did this, and I got a person, very quickly, and the person was knowledgeable, so that's a big deal. My business, when it needs customer support, it needs customer support, and I don't want to be dealing with a bot. I don't want to be dealing with somebody in a call center in India. I want to deal with somebody that knows what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how I'm trying to do it, what the problem is, and how to help me fix it, and I need to get that done now, and that's what they're going to be offering you guys. They're also extremely fast and easy. You'll see when we sit down at the computer in a minute, this is going to take about 5 minutes, and I'm not going to need to know really anything. The couple things you need to know, I already went and found out for you, so I'll just be able to give you that info as we create my LLC. Next thing is they're going to give you 1 free year of registered agent service. Every LLC must have a registered agent. The registered agent has to be at the address listed between like 8 and 5, Monday through Friday, on normal business operating hours for delivery and service of official documents from the government and stuff like that. So these guys will be your registered agent for the first year for free. That's another thing that these other sites nickel and dime you on. And then after a year goes by, instead of auto-renewing you at some insane price, their price is $125 and it's not an auto-renew. They will ask you, hey, do you want to sign up for us to be your registered agent for another year, or do you now have your own registered agent? And if you don't have your own, like say your accountant, if you don't have an accountant, you don't have a registered agent, $125 is a very reasonable price to pay for a registered agent service for a year. I see the price go from anywhere from $100 to $250, so $125 is down there near the bottom. And then finally, they write your operating agreement for you. That's another nickel and dime thing that the other ones will say, well, yeah, we'll file it for you for free. You still got to pay the state fees with all of these companies, including Northwest Registered Agent. They're not going to pay Arizona's LLC filing form fee, right? I still have to pay for that through them. But they're not going to charge me anything extra to do the operating agreement, whereas a lot of these other guys say, yeah, of course, we'll start your LLC for free, but you're going to need an operating agreement. If you want us to do that, well, that's another $100 right there. So they're going to do the operating agreement for you. These guys know what they're doing, so how about we go over there to the computer now, and I'm going to actually take you through a 5-minute process of starting and setting up your LLC today, really cheap. This is where you're going to land when you click on my link. This is also how you're going to get that special pricing that I secured for y'all. Click on Let's Get You Started. Company details. What would you like your business name to be? Bulletproof Handyman. Next, send a copy of lawsuits and legal notices to your attorney. I'm going to say no, I do not have an attorney to send that to. Use generic business purpose. So if you unclick this, you can put the purpose of your business in here, or you can just use a generic business. And then physical address you want to record with the state. I'm going to use their address like I was telling you before for privacy reasons. And mailing address you want on record with the state. Again, I'm going to use their address. Any mail they receive from me, they're going to upload. I'm going to get an alert, and I'll be able to see that mail without actually receiving it in my mailbox or making my mailing address public. So next, we're going to continue. Management type. Member managed is what you're going to be unless you're hiring a manager to manage your LLC, and that means different things than what you think it means. Just know that if you're just starting your handyman business and you're the guy running the show, you're going to be member managed, so click that. Member number 1, Ray Duke. Address on record with the state. I'm going to use their registered address. I'm not going to add any more members. Continue. Contact details, Ray Duke. And let's see, I'm gonna change the screen for just a minute so you guys don't see my actual personal phone number. There we go, and I'm gonna click continue, and then I'll bring y'all back into the screen here. Wrong one. There we go. Email address, I'm gonna use my business email address. Now, if y'all want to email me at bulletproofhandymanbusiness@gmail.com. That's where I go to look for your emails to respond to you personally. This email address you see on your screen is not for y'all to email. If you do, I'll still reply, but I'd prefer you do bulletproofhandymanbusiness@gmail.com. Get your password created. There we go. Continue. Free 90-day trial of this business identity. So I haven't looked into this yet. I'm not going to say yes or no as to whether you should use it, but I am going to check it out and let you know if I think you should use it. But this is going to get you a free domain name for a year. It's also going to get you a website that they create, and then you just edit and tweak it with your photos and your descriptions, along with email hosting and a VoIP business phone. Seems like a really awesome deal. If you end up purchasing these, it's going to be $9 each per month, which is $36. But if you get all 4, they take off 20%. So that's like $30 or something in that ballpark that you'll pay per month, and you'll have all of this set up. But I'm not saying use it or don't. I'm going to do the free 90-day trial so I can let y'all know if it is any good. And continue. Tax ID. Now, this is going to be your IRS EIN. An EIN is like a social security number, but for a business, so that the business can be an entity and pay taxes. If you want to pay them to do it, it's $50, which isn't a bad price. Or you can come up here. See, I've got the IRS website right here. This is irs.gov. Haven't gone through any menus. Right on their homepage, bottom right, apply for an EIN. You click on that. It's super easy. You don't need to worry about any of this. You just hit apply online now. It's not going to work because today is Sunday, or is it Saturday? It's Saturday. Today is Saturday, and you literally have to do this during normal business hours, but an application will come up. You'll put your basic info in. You don't need to know anything special, and you will receive your EIN immediately and for free. So you don't need to pay them to do your EIN, but if you just feel like it, you can. S-Corp election, I wouldn't recommend becoming an S-Corp right off the bat. I would wait and see what my revenue looks like. When you start approaching 6 figures, you want to start thinking about being an S-Corp, which is still an LLC, but it's a specific type of LLC. So I'm going to say do not click that for now. Wait and see what your revenue is, and you can just make that election later if you need to. Mail forwarding is if you want your mail physically forwarded to you instead of just scanned and uploaded. I'm not going to pay anything extra for that. And trademark service, I don't think that's going to be necessary. I might look into it later, but I mean, we're not trying to grow like a multi-billion-dollar worldwide handyman business. So continue. And now we're at the last page. You just enter your credit card info. So as you see over here, they're getting $39. That's how much Northwest Registered Agent is charging you for filing all of this for you. Everything else is like this is Arizona's $85 processing fee, and this report compliance thing is just, it's some new thing they started for 2024 that the IRS did. So that has to get done, and that's an additional $9. So $133. I enter my credit card information right here, which I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to do it with you on the screen with me. But once I enter my credit card information here and click done, this is going to get filed, and I'm going to be an LLC. This is all of about 5 minutes. How long have we been recording here? I don't know where it shows it. 6 minutes and 28 seconds, and that was with me explaining a lot of stuff. So 5 minutes in and out the door, less than $150, and I will be an LLC. Well, I won't be an LLC by the end of the day. Arizona is going to take about 5 days once this gets submitted from Northwest Registered Agent. Arizona is going to take about 5 days to get that processed through, but within a week, I'm going to be an LLC, and you see how easy it is. So this is the milestone step. Your business exists as a legal entity that can sign agreements, that can enter into contracts, it can get a bank account, it can purchase vehicles, it can purchase property, it can purchase anything at once. Its purchases are tax deductible, assuming they're business expenses. Just do me a favor, guys, and now from this point on, keep in mind, when you go to do things to start your business, it is not you personally. Ray Duke isn't doing those things to start Ray Duke's business anymore. Now it's going to be Bulletproof Handyman is going to be the entity that is applying for things and setting up accounts and doing all of that stuff. So this is it, guys. Get your LLC started. You can't complain anymore that it's expensive or that it's hard. Mine's $133. Yours will vary depending on what your state's processing fees are that they charge to file this paperwork. But for $40 to Northwest Registered Agent, they do everything, including the operating agreement, the whole kit and caboodle, top to bottom. They take care of it all for you. So that's how you get it done, and I highly suggest you go get it done as soon as you can. Other than that, I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.